Let's play some Dwarf Fortress. Thanks for the good conversations, YouTube chat. You guys ain't so bad. Don't listen to what Twitch chat has to say. You guys are all right. I mean, I never got it. Krosky? Like, it was one of those, like, okay, that's a gimmick. I think I feel similarly about him, or felt similarly about him, as I did about any character streamer. Like, I on a surface level, I feel kind of the same way about a lot of VTubers. It's like, okay, you're playing a character. Whatever. Oh, fine. And then, like, I just kind of ignore their existence. Like, this is why I'll never be a drama tuber, is because I don't care. And then, like, when something comes out that somebody's terrible or, like, does something really fucking stupid or, like, is an awful person, it's like, oh, why? That's why you were playing a character then. Makes sense. Like, I'm not perfect, right? I can be kind of a dick sometimes, and I realize this, and I'm working on it, and I like to think that every year I get a little bit better. Whereas, like, I'm just me. Like, if you ever run into me in real life, like, I'm just me. I do not mince words. I'm the same person that I am on stream. Is what it is. Anyway, so we are going to be starting a new fort in the world that I generated yesterday. Now, you might see it says one fort here, okay? Because we already played a fort in this world. The reason we are starting a new fort in this world is because that fort died. Now, the place that I settled on was a wilderness taiga and haunted ocean. The ocean is frozen for most of the year, and there's a seagull on my railing. Also, to answer Pilot Guy's question from forever ago, yes, I do in fact have a deck. I do in fact have a deck, a pretty big one actually. I had to, or that fortress ended because it turns out that that ocean has evil rain, and I was kind of half trying to pay attention to what the evil rain did, and then suddenly half my dwarves died, and I figured out what it did. It turns them into weather zombies, so it makes them opposed to life. And I was kind of nonchalantly playing, not really expecting anything to happen, because I've played in a lot of haunted biomes over the last couple of years, and I've played in quite a few with haunted rain. 99% of the time, I find when I play in haunted rain, or evil rain, it isn't a problem. It just simply makes dwarves upset. Now, turning them into invincible murder monsters is a bit different. So my plan is we're going to build a fortress directly next to that last fortress. I'm going to play a more populated civ this time, and I'm using the same rules as yesterday. If you type in ! goal in the Twitch chat, you'll see the rules. We're also in an ad here on Twitch, which is a little bit impractical timing, but... Zombie Fort 2, this time it's personal? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Wait, what? Why command no work? Oh, bot lagging. There you go. But, yeah, so essentially, I'm not allowed to make squads. I can make weapons. I can make armor. But I can't make squads. Unless I'm sending out a dwarf to go make a demand so that we can trade with somebody. That's it. I may also be able to send out a dwarf to go attack somebody to start a war if we wanted. But that is it. I cannot make a squad and let them train, and I cannot make a squad and tell them to station here, right? That is the limitations of this world, of this map. And also, the location with this zombie rain happens to be on a heavy aquifer. So while we will be digging down, and we will be going underground, the vast majority of the time, we're going to be above ground and building above ground, focusing on using trees to build a wooden stockade. And eventually building mechanisms and systems to be able to dig through it. Probably the way that we're going to dig through it isn't using a drop. Well, we could use a drop mech, but my actual plan of how to dig through it is using a just waiting for it to freeze, because that'll probably be the easiest way to get through. But yeah. You probably answered this yesterday, but is the reason for no squads just to avoid being able to just fight your way out of everything? It's because, you know, Dwarf Fortress doesn't give you goals, right? Like, at all. It's up to you to set goals and to set limitations to make the game interesting. And whenever I start a fort, we come up with something that we think would be interesting. And this is something that we think would be interesting. The last few forts I've done have focused pretty heavily on melee squads and some ranged squads. And the original plan was to simply build a fort with like a lot of traps, right? But upon realizing that there's rain zombies, I think building an army of caged zombies that I then release upon the enemy and then recage would be really fun. So that's the plan. No, it's literally you know what would be fun and would make things interesting? That's all it is. So yesterday, after the stream ended, I checked a few spots. This was where the fortress died. This was Kingdom Dawn. The ocean is a light aquifer. The ground is a heavy aquifer. There is iron, silver, and copper in a flexstone layer, which is like kind of a lot. But both above and below, basically this entire ocean is all the same biome. So we could go over here and we'll have the same effects. We could go here, and we'll have the same effects. I could go up here, and we'll have the same effects. So I'm just going to quickly look at the elevation, but before I do that, I'm actually going to go choose Origin Civilization. So the Razor of Principle was who we played previously, who now has a population of 9. We could stick with the Razor of Principle, but I want to play the Tower of Clobbering, because that's just an amazing name, more than anything. And what about using other undeads like Necros, Vamps, and no. If chat wants to try and explain to you as to why, no. We're sticking with these because these are very unique zombies. These zombies train gear, and I've done a trillion. I did a vampire-only fortress like last month, and I've done more necromancer-focused fortresses than I can count. So no, absolutely not. I want to play the Tower of Clobbering because I want to build a Tower of Clobbering. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that is an amazing name. Who doesn't want clobbering time, you know? So build different bedrooms every time if you find building the same bedrooms tedious. YouTube chat. That's fair. You're just wondering if there was something different. That's not what it was. So will it be a trap entrance or a training tower or both? I think probably what it's going to be is initially it's going to be a wall. Right? We're going to build a wall around the edge of the fort. I'm going to seal it in. We're going to focus on above ground farming. We're going to have an overhang on the wall. I'm going to have to make sure that the trees don't overgrow the wall. And... well, okay, less of a wall and more of a stockade, you know, if you will, or like a fort, perhaps even. And I'm thinking like, because it's gonna mostly be made out of wood. I'm thinking like kind of a setup where we have ample access to sunlight, because the vast majority of my industry is going to be above ground. I mean, you don't even need to abuse your dwarves, Danny Scar. Just like in because YouTube chat's talking about like not wanting to build bedrooms, or somebody in YouTube chat is. Just use a big ass dormitory and make up for the sadness in other ways. The only person who actually needs bedrooms are nobles. No squads. Same rules as yesterday. With the exception of if you type an exclamation point goal, you'll see the little amendum, or addendum, I guess is probably the word to use. So we're going to play the Tower of Clobbering this time, different faction, because that's just such a good name. And I'm going to be, God, that's such a cool song right there. I'm going to be building down here. Because this ocean all has that rain. So now the question is, where do I want to settle? I'm just looking for the deepest possible water. I'm thinking maybe like right out here. But we're going to stick to the 6x6. So like this, maybe. I also, actually, the beaches are probably going to have the evil rain too. So the more non-beach I can have, the better. I do kind of want to test it, but this should be fine. Could also go like right there. How deep is that? That's probably the shallowest. I mean, this would be the deepest. Alright, Stupid, thanks for checking out a gift. That's actually the first gift of the day. The fifth subscription of the day. Isn't that just all Dwarven fortresses, though? Like getting punched in the face and had tomatoes thrown at you? Or is that just my job and I'm just, like, associating it with Dwarf Fortress? I mean, like, having a peek at my haunted fortress will show you, like, how you can be mean to dwarves and still be totally fine. Danny? You actually have no idea about this game? Can you play as other races as well? In adventure mode, you can play as any race that exists in the world. In fortress mode, you're limited to just dwarves because all of the mechanics are designed around how dwarves build. As an example, in fortress mode, you primarily are digging. You're digging around underground, you are mining, you are digging very deep, and you are building a lot of constructions out of rock. The way the game is explained in its, like, kind of lore that you discover if you explore the worlds in adventure mode is humans are more surface / above ground and like surface farming, fishing, and that kind of thing, and don't dig as deep as dwarves do. While they can mechanically if you have one in your fortress, it's just not what they're supposed to be able to do. And elves don't craft things themselves. They ask the trees nicely, and the trees grow the things they need. So they're like weird tree wizards, I guess. And goblins have a completely different kind of structure as well. So like while you can mod the game to play as just about any faction, I'm still trying to like sort out this camera. My apologies, chat. So while you can mod the game to play as just about any faction you want, you'll just be playing with dwarves with a different skin, basically. You're just essentially swapping out the sprites. And if that's something you want to do, you can do that, but it doesn't do anything for me because I want to be playing a different faction and have them operate the way that faction's supposed to operate, not playing a faction and then, you know, them not doing what they're supposed to, essentially. I prefer the term tree wizard, but you know. It's a sprite swap usually, or like it's a sprite swap that's also a species swap, which actually can make the game more boring in some cases. Like as an example, goblins. Goblins have a very different ethical culture than dwarves do. Same with humans. Humans think that slavery is fine, right? Like they can have, in theory, they could have slaves, but there's no mechanics for that. So if you're playing as humans in Fortress mode, you're actually just playing as dwarves with human sprites. So if you're playing as goblins, murder is not in fact evil, even though goblins think that murder is fine. You're just playing as dwarves with a goblin skin. If you are playing as elves, you can't do any of the things that they would do with trees. Dwarf Fortress is one of those games that has a trillion things on its to-do list and stuff to be added to the game. The last few years haven't been adding new content primarily, and instead have just been adding quality of life. So, like, completely redoing the UI, which makes the recent Steam reviews very fucking depressing for me, because it's just like people complaining about quality of life. It's like, my God, that's why this version exists. Anyway. So because of like kind of the way the game is built, the last few years haven't added a lot of new stuff, but on the to-do list, other playable factions is there for Fortress mode. But like they would need pretty massive mechanical rewrites to function. Humans are just the sober dwarves that don't get cave adaptation. No, they get the opposite of cave adaptation. Supposedly. So, in World Gen, humans can't dig as deep because they get sick. In World Gen, dwarves dig deep because they get sick if they go up above ground after being underground for a long period of time. No, I completely agree, private parking. I completely agree. But like seeing people saying, oh, they need to completely redo the UI for this game. It's like, I'm happy I'm not programming this game right now because I would be exhausted. But like equal points, there are people who are just like, add more features, I'll stop playing Game of Thrones. And then there are people who are like, remake half the UI. It's like, oh my God. Also, Sly the Cat, hello. As a hippie, yeah, elves are kind of hippies. My phone updated recently, and it decided to allow Google to send me all the push notifications, and I'm not okay with this. This fucking sucks, man. If you have humans underground, maybe you get the amphibian men if you have humans underground for too long. So you have selected a large area. Choose a small area. If you experience lag, will be fine. You have selected an area with salt water. You have selected an area with a light aquifer. Water might need to be pumped out or carried away. Have I? No, I selected an area with a heavy aquifer. You should give me a bigger warning game. You have selected an evil area. You may find very unpleasant environs here. Big Bang, thanks for the 15th month. Welcome back.
15 months. Been fun, smiley face. Hope your move went well.
It did. It was surprisingly smooth. It's been 15 months, and what do you got? Another day older and number go up. And I'm going to prepare for the, Actually, hold on. I'm just going to do this real quick. Cavern Dweller maximum. 10. Cavern Dweller scale. 2. Reasonable amounts of Cavern Dwellers so I don't get stupid lag. Economy, I'll just leave it default. Prepare for journey carefully. So now I've got 2 dwarves to name. And I think they both want beards. So Ani Dude said they wanted a dwarf with a beard. And they want to name it Anthrophobia. And, so I know who it is. We'll read that when we get in game. And then the other dwarf I have to name is Wicda. And Wicda said, bearded dwarf, please. What about Erdim? And Big Bang would like to name themselves, chat. Do we get to name Big Bang? Oh, wait. Yeah, no, okay. I thought they were giving it to chat for a second. Love Trades? That is a good name. Love Trades should be the broker. I'm just going to give you, like, some points in appraisal. Appraiser. You got to work. Thanks for scratching your itch a bit while you work. You love seeing the start of a fort too. Well, happy to help. Happy to provide. Hey, serious salsas. So chat, in order for me to be able to give Big Bang a dwarf, because tier 2 Twitch subscribers can give themselves or nominate themselves to have a dwarf, or anybody else for that matter, you guys get to say yes or no, and it's up to you guys who they get. So are we going to give Big Bang a dwarf? Does Big Bang deserve to have a dwarf bestowed upon their person? Or their name bestowed upon a dwarf is maybe a better way to put it. All right, so which dwarf do we give them? We've got Vukar Lancecoal. We've got Oz Bird's Channels. We've got Shorast Rimcalm. We've got Urist Save Treaties, and we've got Figure Honor Kel. It's the opposite of big ass. There isn't a short ass, but there is short ass. Very different. Very different. The most lustful dwarf. Are any of them lustful? I mean, there's not vengeful. I don't see anything about lustful. I'm seeing one for Urist. So chat, which dwarf do we give him? I think I'll just go with Urist. Big Bang, the Urist. The beginning of everything. Once again, we'll read those when we get in game. So we are the Tower of Clobbering is the name of my faction. Wet painted. That's funny. Now we need a name for a surface fortress that is focused on trying to capture and enslave weather zombies and use them as defense. More like imprison. It's probably the better wording there. Dead Guard? Ooh. City Chamber is actually pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like Dead Chamber. Actually, zombie isn't a word. I mean, I could call it Dark Tower, but I don't plan on doing necromancy. You know, actually, hold on. Tomb Chamber is pretty good. Crypt Town, my new emote, Buttsworth. The Rotten Tower? Sounds like a group name. Clobbertomb? Clobbertomb! I think that might be it. I think Clobbertomb might be it. Okay, no, I switched chat. I keep on like staring at the green screen to make sure it's not like showing the edge. Was it a pine forest? I think it was like larch, bayberry, and I think pine. Yeah, that sounds right. We could do pine trees in our symbol. That would fit. I think Clobbertomb is what we're going with, so. If there's any serious dislikes of Clobbertomb, let me know. With it's clobbering time, of course it is. The Fortress of Death. The Trustworthy Fortress of Death. It's fine here. Everything is fine here. We're very trustworthy. Come, stay at our tavern. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I quite like that, actually. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I've recycled life. I don't think recycled is a word. Yeah, recycled life. There's no words. There's no like, there's nothing that starts with RE. Like no reanimated, revive, crevice. How about this? Hold on. Ah, man. I want that at the, like, after, but I mean, the Trustworthy Forever Fortress of Life is kind of okay. I was thinking like the Trustworthy Fortress of Forever Life was kind of what I was thinking. I mean, we're not immortal. It's forever life. It's a bit wordy, but I think that could work. What other options do we have for trustworthy? The fragrant. The lovely. Wondrous. The wondrous forever fortress of life. What if I... The decrepit? Here's the thing. I think, like, naming everything very grim and dark isn't the most Dwarf Fortressy thing. It's very goblin-y. Like, goblins are all like, the death of the blah, 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 murder death. You know? Whereas dwarves, I feel like, can certainly be dark, but at the same time, often are more just like whimsical in a way, you know? I want a little bit of whimsy flavor for this. Mysterious? The Mystery Fortress. The Trustworthy Mystery Fortress of Life. What if I get rid of the hyphen compound here and then go to first adjective and go trust? I mean, I could call it the untrusty... The untrustworthy, wondrous fortress of life. Yeah, see, that's too goblin-y for me. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I mean, maybe I could name my symbol the Pungent Clobbered Corpse, but I want a little bit of whimsy in like the group name. The Profane Wondrous Fort. I think we'll... Let's just clear the adjectives for a second. Just go first adjective and say the Bright Fortress of Life. I think we'll go with that. For our group symbol, let's go with a... Ooh. I saw a lot of reindeer. Let's say a reindeer bull. Let's do a pine tree. And a dwarf. Okay. The dwarf is dead. The dwarf is... The dwarf is devouring the reindeer bull. The reindeer bull looks... No, the dwarf looks confused. We'll go with that. The dwarf looks confused. The reindeer bull is screaming. And the tree is striking a triumphant pose. The sanctified clobbered corpse of light. Well, I mean, because we're putting light in there, right? Then we obviously need a blazing sun. Which is... cooking the dwarf. Not in a frying pan. I mean, like, you know, figuratively, right? Like, blasting its glorious rays down on the dwarf. And hold on. So, okay, so you're literally laughing. Well, I'm happy to help. A cloud for bad weather. Well, I mean, I could probably do that. Let's. You said the. I mean, okay, hold on. Well, sanctified doesn't appear to be an adjective. Let's say the bright... Let's go to here and then type in tower. Bright escort. Yeah, How about just the bright corridors? What about blessed? No. How about the remarkable corridors of clobbering? There's plenty of Caves of Cud lovers in the chat, but this is a Dwarf Fortress stream. I mean, the developers are friends, so, you know. They were in development for similar lengths of time. They have some similar ideas and approach them completely differently. The remarkable corridors of clobbering. Let's say the remarkable angry corridors of clobbering. The remarkable B corridors of... Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Shit. I was about to say, an ad break's about to pop. I'm gonna go use the washroom, but the ad break just finished. I'm gonna go use the washroom. It is, in fact, clobbering time, yes. I really like that. So this symbol is the remarkable corridors of clobbering, of the Tower of Clobbering, and it is an image of a reindeer bull, a dwarf, a blazing sun, and the dwarf is dead. The dwarf is devouring the reindeer bull. The dwarf looks confused. The reindeer bull is screaming. The pine is striking a triumphant pose, and the blazing sun is cooking the dwarf. He's like steaming. Here's the thing. Every Twitch ad break, you don't get the ad filled with peanut butter is a good one. Australia gets weird ads. I've heard that Australia doesn't get ads most of the time, so the fact that Australia is getting ads is interesting. Question about adventure mode. You're walking around with a few companions. How do I get to kill someone? They always bum rush and just manage to finish off the beast. They're probably sprinting. If you use the movement speed options by hitting M on the keyboard, the button's on the left hand of the screen, I think. Hit that, sprint, run in, get into the fighting with them, and then hit M and get rid of it. And like stop sprinting. Just make sure you stop sprinting, otherwise you'll just be exhausted and die quickly. But they tend to sprint in, so they'll just get to the enemy before you do, and they'll just get a couple of hits in before you have the chance to get hits in. You get a lot of fashion ads, but you don't mind because the models are hot as fuck. You remind me of that one person who like trained all of his Google ad algorithms to just give him Victoria's Secret ads. Was a friend of mine growing up. All right, so I'm gonna bring some joke skills because I always do that. Like Vokar here, you've got kind of an intimidating beard, so why don't I give you lying and intimidating, and scheming. 1 point in scheming. But also, on a more practical note, we're going to make you into a woodcutter. Wikda here, who's got some points in trading. Let's give you engraving, planting, and also woodcutting. Oz down here, you're going to get brewing, planting, and planting. And I'm also going to give you Boyer. And let's say engraving. Down beneath you, because I do want to have an engineer's guild, let's give you writing, because that's very useful. I need mechanic. There you are. Let's do mechanic, and in a more practical sense, let's also do bone carving. I'm thinking woodcrafting for you, for Big Bang, but also cheese making. And let's just do 1 point in cheese making and leatherworking. Let's do that as well. And go down into here, and we'll also give you butchery. And maybe a point in brewing. Next up here, we've got Kel. Let's give you... Ooh. I could probably use a doctor, so maybe like a surgeon. And like competent diagnoser and surgeon. But also, we'll give you some skills in planting. Make you into an adequate planter. And then a few skills in mechanics as well. And then spend the last points on diagnosing. Ani dude down here. We'll make you a good comedian and flatterer. And a dancer, which is very important. And let's say bone carver, miner. You love that I'm in the Fediverse? In and out of the Fediverse, but I do peruse and skim every now and again. I'm more active on Blue Sky these days. I try to just not use social media, to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't have any of those accounts if I didn't do this as a job. This is a new fort in the same world as yesterday, right next to the world from yesterday, right next to the fort from yesterday, because I don't know if you want me to spoil it or not, but it didn't make it. Can you have some biting? That's a combat skill. We don't do that here. You had an ad for lube once on Twitch. Before I paid for Twitch Turbo, I used to get kind of a ridiculous number of ads for Trojan condoms on Twitch. It was Trojan condoms and, like, gas station candy. Like gummy worms and shit. Nerds was one I got a lot. Sure, certainly, but not until I figure out how to do that in a format that isn't just an audiobook. Fernadrat. Haze and Havoc, you would like a Dwarf. Which one would you like? After your gas station candy date? I mean, I was in a gas station once recently, and that was because I had to refill the tank for the U-Haul that we dropped off after I moved. That was my first time in a gas station in maybe a year. So I don't go to gas stations very often. You want Vukar? Cap. I have to go get my glasses cleaner. My glasses got smudged. You will read all these descriptions once we're in game. Havoc. There you go. I mean, you're obviously a competent singer and speaker. Naturally. You know a lot of poems. The euphoric butterfly. What? It's a form of music used to commemorate the important events originating in the Tower of Clobbering. Okay. The euphoric butterfly commemorates important events from the histories of the Tower of Clobbering. For sure. You've got poor intuition, but you're private and depression prone. Uh-oh. You hate family. I found out why you're depression prone. Disdains tradition and values romance. Can I make a bad statement about your character, Havoc? I feel like you're probably a fan of, like, Alpha Bros. I mean, hates tradition. Well, no, it would be values tradition, right? Which is just, like, is sexist. But, like, disdains tradition, hates family, values romance, depression prone, poor intuition, and private. Like, you're just describing shut-ins. That's sad. I'm so sorry, man. All right. Twitch chat. I just want to say a real quick thank you to the 248 of you tuning in. Hey, YouTube folks. I just want to say a real quick thank you to the 125 of you tuning in. Because I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for folks like you watching the stream. Primarily because at this exact moment in the stream, I would like to note that I'm $25 away from my daily minimum. My daily minimum means if I stream for 8 hours, I've made minimum wage, which isn't enough to afford my mortgage, by the way. But we are $25 away from the daily minimum 2 hours into the stream. So thank you for that. I'm sure we'll hit it. But, you know, we're also only one subscriber here away from 1,000 here on Twitch. So if you happen to have a Prime sub, now's probably a pretty good time to use it. You can help us climb back up to 1,000 Twitch subscribers. But I think we need to go select our items and animals. So last time I didn't bring much in the way of food and stuff, and I want to stick with that because I think that's kind of fun. Make things a little bit of a challenge here. More of a preparation challenge. So we're going to have to gather food to get our seeds. And we're also going to have to gather food to get our food. And who needs plump helmets anyway? We're also going to have plenty of wood, so I'm not going to worry about making things like step ladders and crutches. I'm not going to worry. Well, I'll keep the buckets. Buckets are useful. I'm going to keep the quivers. Hamster full of alcohol. What, just squeeze them and get them to eject it? I mean, I don't need a sub, but subs keep the stream sponsor free. Hard Wheezy, thank you very much for that brand new Prime subscription. Chat, gonna get a big round of beers. Thank you very much for helping me pay bills. All right, so now I've got a bunch of extra points. Let's see what we got over here in animals. Where's the Tower of Clobbering? Well, we got reindeer. We got camels. You know, it just occurred to me, I've never seen a camel. I don't recall seeing a camel calf. I love that it's just like a slightly smaller version of the normal camel with mini legs. It's like they just chopped the legs in half. That's adorable. It does kind of sound like a teenager, yeah, Havoc. All right, well, we're gonna bring reindeer because it fits the area. I'm thinking maybe chat llamas or alpacas. Yeah, like what's it called? Now, don't Scottish folds have shorter legs? I can't remember the name of them. Chat's saying alpacas. Chat likes to livestock that alpaca punch, you know? And, well, I could just go with turkeys. I got 46 points left. Let's bring some dogs. Why not? Oh, actually, I gotta be cautious with dogs, because if the dogs get infected and they tend to attack things, I don't really want my livestock to go attacking stuff right away. I'll just presume that my migrants will bring livestock. So let's bring a turkey. 3 turkey gobblers. And 4 turkey hens. I got 4 points left, which I'll spend on booze. You know, I don't think I've ever intentionally made a bone crossbow, but I believe it. I believe it. So, as a reminder to everybody, the starting dwarves are Havoc, Wicta, Az, Shorast, Big Bang, Kel, and Onidude. We are the fortress of Clobbertomb. Actually, hold on a second. Is this a word? Okay. I was going to say clobberbox. Clobberbox just sounds funny, so, but no, clobberbox. Box isn't a word. Although, I could call it bin clobber. Bin clobber. There's too many funny names with the word clobber. Anyway, we are the fortress of Clobbertomb. We are the bright fortress of life, is our group name. The image is an image of a reindeer bull, a pine tree, and a blazing sun, and a dwarf. The dwarf is dead, and the dwarf is devouring the bull. The dwarf looks confused. The reindeer bull is screaming. The pine is striking a triumphant pose, and the blazing sun is cooking the dwarf, naturally. And the symbol, of course, is named the remarkable corridors. Clobbering. I don't think they shed their horns now. You should be able to harvest them. You know? Like, just like implying that they shed their horns. I think it's time to save this profile in case something goes horribly wrong. And I'm going to name this... I'm saying 25 for the year. Actually, let's just say 01, 25. Save. And it's time to embark, chat. So, if you're a subscriber here on the Twitch, You can, of course, become a subscriber for the low price of however much it costs in your location per month. I can't just say $4.99 per month because I don't even know how much they cost anymore. But you can subscribe for a small cost here on Twitch monthly for emotes. But if you have the emotes, could I get a crypt pick here on Twitch? And YouTube chat, just hit the party button a bunch. I'm sure you can find it. It's not that hard. It's under the heart. And shall we begin? You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. There are almost no... that's fine. Let me try this again. You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Erdim Avid. There's almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you. But it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings. Ere the wolves get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here, in this place. Avid Rakust, Clobbertomb. Strike the earth, and say that with a straight face. I don't think I'm capable of it. And we're out of food. Oh no! Immediately out of food. Terrible, terrible things. Clobber the earth. Clobber it. Consider it clobbed, you clobberers. Okay, so it's a very large map. Just scrolling around. We do actually have a thought out portion down here, which is interesting, actually. Okay, so what are we looking at on the map? Just 2 horseshoe crabs. Let's unpause the game for a little bit. What died? Was that the world gen? Nothing died. Your fortress is out of food. Considering placing a farm plot or some underground soil and planting seeds. Try building a butcher shop and slaughtering some livestock. Perhaps you could gather some fruit, or go fishing. That's what that nothing died. That happened. So there's a crab and some horseshoe crabs. So I'm terrified of the possibility of us getting attacked by zombie crabs. But this is where we're going to be building our fortress, up here on this beach. So I'm just going to, real quick, make a burrow. Out to about there. It goes all the way up to the top of the map, which is 15 layers up. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of eyeball where it's sitting. It's a little far out in this area, so let's just... I am going to allow that, which is where our stuff is. And then I'm going to go over to here. Problem is all of those ponds are going to thaw out at some point, probably. So I'll have to go through and remove all those, but... And then underground, you can just say everything. Actually, I will leave this unchecked. I will let them leave the burrow to go complete tasks. Okay. So let's read some Dwarven descriptions, shall we? Anthrophobia here is a competent miner named by Onidude, and he is a dyed-in-the-wool quarreler, never missing the chance to lash out in verbal hostility. He has an overinflated sense of self-worth. He strongly prefers discussions and ideas of abstract concepts over handling specific practical issues. He tends to reveal personal information, he can handle stress, and he tends to assume that the worst of 2 outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. He is assertive, and he doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. He is rarely happy or enthusiastic. He is conflicted by this, as he values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. He is moved by art and natural beauty, and he is troubled by this, since he dislikes the natural world. And he is slow to anger and pleased by his own appearance and talents, and scratches his nose when he's nervous and needs alcohol to get through the working day. And only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Dreams of making a great discovery, and personally views the pursuit of knowledge as deeply important. And does not care about friendship. He likes saltpeter, pig iron, gold opal, ibex horn, the color bright brown, light brown, not bright brown, and quivers and cages and goblets, and the sound of the euphoric butterfly. And when possible, prefers to consume giant cave toad and papaya wine, and absolutely hates cave spiders. You are a member of the Doctrine of Bronze, and you worship Burr. Well, it is cold here, so... Who be Burr? Let's find out who Burr is. Daniel Bob, are you Oni Dude in Twitch chat? If you've told me before, I super forgot. Burr is minerals and jewels. So you worship the god of minerals and jewels. Obviously, there are 5 worshippers and 4 members of that religion here. So that seems to be a pretty prominent god here. We've also got a singular worshipper of Vesh Ashburn's the Fatal Crypts. I presume that's what that is. Who's the god of death, who 2 people worship. So, you know. Gems and death. Also, that's our expedition leader. Havoc is often sad and dejected, has a strong tendency towards privacy, doesn't often feel envious of others, and is grateful when others help him out. He tries to return favors, and he tends to hang on to grievances, and he is quick to anger. He can handle stress and generally finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future. He does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive feelings, and he is troubled by this, as he values romance. He tends to be passive in discussions and laughs very loudly when he's nervous, and he licks his lips when he's nervous, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors, but only grumbles mildly in inclement weather. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally disregards tradition, is put off by family, values romance, and dreams of mastering a skill. He likes aluminum, bloodstone, and cashew wood, peach-faced lovebird, tooth, and rami fabric, as well as the color eggplant, goblets, and giant crabs for their pinches. And the words of the fancy meditation. And the words of the laces of silk. And when possible, prefers to consume shad and cranberry wine, and can't stand bats. All right. He is broad with little muscle, and has very dry hair, which is straight. And he, of course, worships the god of death, naturally. Havoc worships the death god and is a member of the Ashen cult, which is of death. And down here we got Wicta. Wicta forms only fleeting and rare emotional bonds with others, and it finds helping others emotionally rewarding, doesn't tend to hold on to grievances, is rarely happy or enthusiastic, is conflicted by this, as he values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. He has a calm demeanor, and he generally finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future. And he tends to avoid any physical confrontations. He works to square, of course, this natural tendency with his respect for martial prowess, and he doesn't often feel envious of others. He is slow to anger, and he doesn't often, and he generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. He often tells pointless stories when he's nervous and needs alcohol to get through the working day, and likes working outdoors and grumbles mildly at bad weather. Dreams of raising a family and personally finds friendship burdensome and finds maintaining decorum a silly and fumbling waste of time. Makes sense, Daniel Bob. Makes sense. It's making soul gems then? I mean, it's a chilly fortress, so we can definitely call it a Burr Fortress stone. Vote crab, damn right. Maybe I need an animated crab emote, and we can call it Cryptovote Crab. And then we have Vote Crab and Cryptovote Crab. Or just Crypt Crab. He likes allanite and brass and aquamarine and giant cockatiel leather, llama parchment, and the color dark violet. Traction benches, iguana... Okay, do not let this one become the mayor. Iguana men for their head bobs, and the words of the crested wall, and the sight of the meandering lyrics. And when possible, prefers to consume dwarven wine and can't stand rats. And Fleeting emotional bonds and wants to raise a family is a lot of parents IRL. That's true but grim, man. You've got a bunch of close friends. All right. Best of luck with worshipping Burr and the doctrine of bronze. Wicta. Last but not least, or maybe least, I don't know, save treaties. Urist Big Bang is fond, apparently. Does not easily fall in love, rarely develops positive feelings, lives a fast-paced life, has little interest in joking around, can tend to assume that the worst of two outcomes will naturally be the one that comes to pass. And he is conflicted by this as he values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. He's very humble and he likes to brawl, and he is disturbed by this since he values quiet, so at least in the abstract. He prefers to present himself modestly, has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions of practical applications, and often is nervous. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity, and he has a greedy streak. He starts to drone when he's exasperated, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. And likes working outdoors, but only grumbles mildly at bad weather. And dreams of mastering a skill, and personally thinks tranquility is, and personally values tranquility and a peaceful day, and thinks that working hard is an abject idiocy. Typical artisan, right? Must be a glitch in the Matrix. You love rats? I mean, natural opposites, you know, maybe. All right, so I'm just going to hack down a bunch of trees up here. And I'm going to set a meeting zone up here. I'm also going to set a pen pasture. And I'm just going to put all the grazers in the pen pasture. And I'll make a separate pen pasture right there. Oopsies, and then I deleted it because I clicked the wrong button. And the separate pen pasture is just going to be for the turkeys. These are not the right shape yet. We'll wait. And we're in an ad break, so we'll pause. Did someone say rat? No. Carry on, Jaded. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. Keep calm, carry on. What's the plan? You don't understand? The plan is the ocean is evil and will make you into a zombie if you get rained on. That is the plan. I do not have the ability, or the right, I guess, in this fortress. I do have the ability, but I'm not allowed to make military squads. I can make weapons, but I can't make military squads. So because I can't make military squads, I'm planning to defend this fortress by cage trapping those zombies and using them for defense. Because weather zombies aren't like normal zombies. They're way faster. They learn skills, and they are significantly more threatening. Because unlike even the intelligent undead, they are horrifying. Apartment, not house. But yes, Celestars. New camera angles. I can exit the void now. Ain't that freaky, you know? Although, actually, my camera's a little far this way. I can exit the void now. Although, I need to work on my lighting, to be honest, which is why this side looks a little crinkly, which is why I was further this way. Poke. So currently on the map, we have a bunch of albatrosses and crabs. Let us, Oh! Forgot a level. I was like, why they go chop down tree and do jerk? That's because they're not allowed yet. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to here. I'm going to go gather plant. And I'm going to make a food stockpile. Although, actually, I should probably change the priority of the gather plants job. This is just going to be for where? Yeah, that's fine. This is just going to be for food and drink. And for the gather job, I'm going to lower the priority of that to 3. 5, sure. And there they go. I'm also going to go over to here, and as a reminder, the ground level is a heavy aquifer. This is going to be priority 2. Why don't I just do 2 of these going down? And then this should all be in the burrow. Yep. Seems like Wicta's getting to the task pretty quick. Yes. I started a new fort yesterday and it didn't survive, so we're starting a new fort with a theme that's very similar to yesterday's new fort, except basically expanding upon the theme from yesterday. Yes, this is in fact a new fort. We just started. And we have a little bit of time before we're going to start running into concerning threats. Okay. I should be able to go down one further. I'm just going to let them go down until they hit that aquifer, because there is a heavy aquifer on this map once again. Which they should do pretty quickly. Let's just follow you as you're gathering plants. I see we're back on the ocean. Same ocean, yeah. Basically right next door to the last fort. The downside of going to bed early? I mean, it is. I would honestly say there is very few downsides to going to bed early. You should, in fact, go to bed early. They can go within the burrows if the burrow is enabled. If there's a workshop in the burrow, there's a second toggle which allows them to leave the burrow to go complete a task if a material they need for that workshop is outside of the burrow. And if they're in a state of desperation, spring has arrived. If they're in a state of desperation, they are able to ignore the burrow and go outside. So like if they're about to like die of starvation, they will ignore the burrow. Or if they're getting chased by an enemy, they will ignore the burrow. They will not stay within the burrow and then die. And Ani Dude's Dwarf here wants to argue. Well, that's a good sign. Kel here wants to drink alcohol. Let's just set this as priority number 1. Just get this sucker done. But, you know, we need to wait for them to finish gathering plants. We got tons of trees getting hacked down. I'm also going to go down here, and I'm going to dig out 2 of these. I'm also probably just going to fill all this in eventually. In the middle here, I'm just going to make an office. I'm going to go to nobles, and I'm going to make a manager. Actually, who is my broker going to be? Let's make Havoc into the broker, and the manager can be Wicta. And then right here, this little square, because managers work if you have less than 20 dwarves with just an office zone. They don't actually need anything else. I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to queue up wooden blocks. Make wooden blocks. And I'm just going to say 800, because I'm probably going to need a lot of them. And currently everybody's gathering plants. Okay, so this is what will turn you into a zombie. This. This. This will make you into a merc zombie. So if this cloud touches you, you will become... You'll still be alive, but you will become undead, in a way. And, should I set up... You know what? Yeah, why don't we do this? Let's go to announcements and go fortress. And see if there's one for weather. There's gotta be, right? Undead, I mean, yeah, naturally. Citizen death. Citizen birth. Am I just, like, not seeing it? I found a treasure. Set a fire, break dawn. Drink, pick up, vermin disturbed. What, the zombies? They are untiring and have no needs, yes. If that's what you meant that to mean. That's how it read, so. Also going to real quick re-enable these because Caravan used to not have a pop-up for me. I think when I updated my computer, or when the game updated recently, I think that changed. Devil Dawn, thank you for helping me hit my daily minimum and the 5-pack of gift subs. You're very kind. Hey, chat, can I get a big round of beers? So people like Devil Dawn keep this stream sponsor free. Well, that's kind of funny. I thought I was hearing a fire alarm. It's a backup signal. Actually, you know, where was election? Actually, that would be useful. I saw election for a second there, and then I skimmed past it. Doesn't need to pause the game, but do give me a pop-up. Maybe don't recenter. Just give me a pop-up. Site located, work order completed, job overwritten, new mandate, new demand. Somebody grows up. Actually, that I should have a pop-up. Beast guzzles drink, petition ignored, witness. Somebody pukes. Evil cloud, that's what I'm looking for. Weird weather. I may disable these if they get annoying. But I want to know where they are and how often they happen. That's wielding a wooden shield in each of his hands, except being a competent axeman. Does he also have an axe? I've certainly seen that before where they will also have an axe on top of, you know, having 2 shields or whatever. Which I think is hysterical. Just making this look nicer. Just need you to go finish gathering plants there, Dwarf. And then go drop all those off there so that we have food. Go dig, because this is really what I need done. And then I'm going to go carpenter. Sure, let's just do large logs, why not? And then a secondary carpenter right here. And the other thing I'm going to tell them to do is make 2 trapdoors. Hatch covers. Wooden hatch cover. Let's make 4. So I guess that's the aquifer right there. So I've got peat, loamy sand. Got it. Don't want to be 1 layer below the sand. So let's start Let's just dig directly south here. And just give us a space for an everything stockpile. Like, we are going to primarily be above ground, but I kind of need an area that I can store stuff that I can use as a bunker if shit goes sideways. What's up, Swifty? Exclamation mark goal will fill you in. Raccoon with matches. But simply put, it's the same as yesterday, if you were here yesterday, which is I'm not allowed to make squads. With the asterisk of, well, I'm not allowed to make squads. I am, however, one, I'm not allowed to make squads. Two, it's primarily a surface fort. Three, these squads that, or the only thing I can use for defense would be traps and weaponry that's around. So essentially, I'm kind of forced to use the evil weather on this map as my main source of defense. I'm just going to be adjusting this black backdrop until I get it to a point where I'm happy with it, because I want to be able to float out of it. There we go. It's not too bad. Leave it there for right now. Snowing like crazy out here in Sask. Gotcha. 10 to 20 centimeters predicted. It was snowing like crazy yesterday here, but it kind of stopped. It's mostly just like icy right now. We have about that much, which is kind of a lot for where I'm currently at. Without tricks and traps, it highly depends on what their abilities are. If they're mostly made of snow and don't have webs and fire, then yeah, totally it's possible. But it highly depends on whether or not they have abilities that will completely contradict you. I mean, like, at the very least, you're going to want Marks Dwarves, a bunch of squads, and, like, something to be able to lower the numbers out. It's one of those, like, sure, it's possible. Is it going to be easy? No. Okay, it looks like we are just about done harvesting plants, so things should start moving forward pretty smoothly here. Because I'm not going to get the evil rain on the shore, it's actually it's relatively safe here. Relatively. We're also going to probably get these set up pretty quick. Yep, there they go. And there goes the other one. But yeah, like Ilmarin said, most things are possible. It's just not necessarily going to be straightforward and or easy. So Wicta needs to go manage those work orders. Who seems to have just done that. Yes. I'm actually just going to, yeah, that's fine. Just make wooden blocks. Because we're getting to it. And also making some barrels. I'll just have to cancel that barrel job. Actually, I should just do this. Barrel. I'll just make 10. I don't need that many. I just need a few. And then just get rid of that job, which is the repeating one. So we'll make a total of 12 barrels. Although, actually, why don't... Okay. I won't increase that number at all then. Wrestlers can be pretty... no, the restriction wasn't... We went over this yesterday, and I don't understand how people keep forgetting. But the restriction was no squads. I'm allowed to make weapons, but the restriction is no squads. Not no weapons. No squads. So, no. That is not the restriction, in fact. Okay, so this one is dangerously close. And it's covering the beach. That could be a pretty easy spot for us to build to entrap things. And make zombies. Yeah, no, it's all good. But it's a very common misunderstanding, I'll put it that way. Let's just go all. Yeah, we'll just make that an everything stockpile for right now. I'm just gonna go nuke this. And also say, please don't put wood in it. Please no wood, thank you. I have to be cautious when digging down here. I don't want to accidentally dig into the ocean. Oh, actually, no bars and blocks either. Those can just stay in these up here. Let's also deconstruct this, because I don't really want the dwarves hanging around the wagon. I don't know. Currently, I think it's 2 coins from the Adventure Mode soundtrack. What happened to the above ground fort yesterday? Go watch the VOD and find out. Unless you want me to spoil it. We had a very sudden end to it. We got... We realized that the way that the ocean is haunted is that it makes weather zombies. So if you read the title of the fortress, you may pretty quickly figure out what we're doing today. Which is building in the exact same area right next to the old fortress from yesterday. But it's part of a different faction because they have a better name. But I'm going to try and take advantage of the evil weather and make weather zombies. What the heck? And then make weather zombies and use them as weapons. What about you, Fortenberry? What's your favorite music track? How old am I? Why do you want to know, Mokaming? It's like, it's not too personal. It's public information, but like, why? Strike the earth again, awakens something in you? Yeah, I know the feeling. I don't want to... Okay, hold on. Let me just do something. Are these the same color? Too vain for my own good in some ways. Thanks for doing all the guides. No problem. 15 watermelons. Like this one. This is my favorite track currently. Just 'cause I think it's very good. You guys can follow. Been away for a while. Congrats on the... Well, cheers, man. Appreciate you. I'm just amazed that I was able to move like without missing a shit ton of streaming time. And also for those of you who haven't seen these in ASCII, that's what the clouds look like in ASCII. For the executable merc. It's generally just on the 1Z level though. Sinister? I think they look scarier in ASCII, to be honest. And also, let's see, is there anything interesting on the map? Just ravens? Just ravens. Okay. But yeah. How old is this fort? 35 minutes. Maybe? Something like that? About 30 minutes. I'm gonna go check something. I will be right back. And I also don't want to pause the game because I don't want anybody to die.
Cheese for everyone! Clobbertomb.
All right, be back.
Over here, he has a sword.
Yeah, they're not for gifts anyway because it's difficult already to manage the non-gifted ones, like the people that are paying directly, Riley. And then sometimes you'll have people that gift like 10. Okay, did the cloud clear? Seems like it did. Okay, so it seems that larch and pine... Chat, are those different colors? No? I think they're different, but like, we're talking like minor shades. Okay, well. Maybe I'll do pine for the lower level, and the second level will do larch. Maybe it's easier to see in floor. I'm just gonna go with they're different. But they're about the two closest colors I think we could have, possibly. Okay, it looks like we're just pulling these cedar logs up, which was the wagon. Actually, I'm just... Whenever they make those cedar logs into blocks, we should make those cedar logs flooring around the front door. Actually, here, I should do this. I'm gonna make a trade depot. Out of the 3 cedar logs. A computer could tell the difference if it was present. Yeah, these poor imperfect human eyes. Insufficient. The only thing that we've kind of stated that I can use squads for, Le Musketeer, is to send out a dwarf to go demand tribute or to start a war with another faction. That is the only time I'm allowed to use squads. And the second they come back, I have to disband the squad. I'm not allowed to make squads, is the rule. I'm not allowed to train dwarves in combat. Does that make sense? It's not a, does this count? It's not a matter of this count. I'm not allowed to make squads. There isn't any does this, can I do this? No, I can't make squads. Is the beginning and the end of the discussion. I'm gonna go larch. and I should just click that other tab. Cedar log do what? Log off and go to bed. Is what Cedar log see. Der happen. Cedar do? Cedar this. This up here, ooh. I'm just gonna make a mechanics guild. And just set it to anybody can go in there. Because I need a place that dwarves can go. Wherever that is. We're about to get hit by an ad. When that pops, I will pause the game and not unpause until after. Very good. There's engineers. And also you right here. Yeah, martial training is going to be interesting. Take a beer instead. Yeah, go start a tavern brawl, you know? That might actually end up being a thing that we have to do, is just like have a tavern keeper so tavern brawls can happen for dwarves that want martial training. I'm still trying to like, it's gonna take me a bit to figure out exactly how I want this background to look. I'm just going to be adjusting it for the next few streams, I think, until I get it somewhere where I like it. That's okay. Such is the way of having layout changes for the stream. Also, thanks for all the follows. I do see those. I just don't have a notification for them. We're in an ad break, so I'll unpause the game when the ads are done. You ask a question. In adventure mode, there's sometimes artifacts deep in the ground that are surrounded by walls or something like that. Can they be seen only via DF hack? Why is that? Do you know how fortress mode works? Because in fortress mode, adamantine spires are surrounded by diamonds and gems. They have secret weapons in them. That's why they're there. Is because you're not supposed to be able to access them in adventure mode. Basically, like, you're seeing things that you're not supposed to be able to see because you're using DF hack. You're not supposed to be able to see that in adventure mode. You're supposed to go find them in fortress mode, right? Because it's two different modes. And you're using a RAM editor to hack the game and give you more information than the game is naturally supposed to give you. So you're seeing something that you're not supposed to know is there in adventure mode. I can escape the box. Yeah, we have to call SCP containment breach because I'm escaping. I mean, you can get god weapons and artifact weapons like that in adventure mode. You just have to go to a vault, right? Like, there's ways to acquire those weapons and those types of weapons, but you have to find a vault. Darius, thanks for the 5-pack of gift subs and helping me pay bills. Greatly appreciate you. Cheers. Also, for those of you who are unaware, this is a mug that you can buy on my merch store. It's the Vile Force of Mug. ! Merch in the Twitch chat. It should be in the description of the YouTube stream. This is the biggest one. It's pretty good. It's a good mug. It holds liquids. Hot or not hot. Buy the mug is a very good mug. I cannot confirm or deny if I'm biased. But you should definitely buy the mug because it is a very good mug. Went a bit far. There we go. And I can do 2 more on this end. And we wait. It's going to primarily be an above-ground fort. And we get to deal with these. Zombifying clouds. Thankfully, the zombifying clouds are only over top of the ocean, so it's not too bad. Where's the other one? Oh shit, I never cleared that. It's a lot of pebbles. There's more pebbles than rock on that beach. I'm not seeing it at all. Can they be on, like, below water? Huh. Odd. Spooky. And that's just snow. Let's check an ASCII where it's easier to see them. Oh, there it is. Spooky, 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 spooky. Also, hey, Al. How's things? I think I'm going to move this so that it's right here. See what everybody's up to. Most of the dwarves are just putting stuff away. So what I need to do is I need to go down to this. And I need, oops, no, not this. I need to go to this, and I need to say no wheelbarrows, please. And I need to go to this, and I need to say, and 1 wheelbarrow, please. I need to go to you. Well, I don't need to go to you, but I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to type in wheelbarrow. Make now, please. Because if a singular animal gets caught in one of those clouds, this fortress dies, probably. So I need to get this wall up. Could I build something over that? Yep. Do I want to, though? Nope. Because evil fog goes across. It's like, it's exactly the same thing that happens in, what's it called? Why am I blanking on the name of this stupid city? In San Francisco. And when the evil fog flies over, everybody who gets touched by the evil fog becomes a zombie. So because of the evil fog, it is very dangerous. So I am doing my damnedest to avoid the evil fog by, you know. No, but they have fog and it's obviously evil. It doesn't have zombies. Well, I mean, maybe it does. Does it? Does it have zombies? Evil floggings? I don't know about that. But the ocean will thaw for a couple months a year in the summer. I think it's like 3 months a year. Got any cage traps yet? I don't even have any rocks yet. The thing that I want right now is walls. So once I get the outer wall of this set up, we will be in a much better place. Could also probably just get rid of this stockpile, but it'll be useful in a bit. Evil frogs. Fog. Also, how you doing, Tolis? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm not worrying about the cage traps until after we get the outer defenses set up. Both of the woodcutting dwarves are named. So I will remove one of them from woodcutting and be like, which one do you want? Devilish. Because, like, removing the manager from woodcutting is kind of a logical thing to do. We've got Kel, Shorast, or Oz. Also, I should remove you from fishing, because that's going to be dangerous. You want Oz? Oz you wish. I mean, a carpenter and boy are so close enough. A devilish potato. What? Where'd that bracket come from? I was gonna say, that's bizarre. What happened there? Can get caught up in internal deliberation when action is necessary. Has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. Has a greedy streak and tends to be a bit stubborn in changing his mind about things. Takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. And likes a little excitement now and then. Tries to do things correctly each time, does not easily hate or develop negative feelings, and lives a fast-paced life. Prefers to present himself modestly and finds obligations confining, though he is conflicted about this for more than one reason. He can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings and overcome by terror, hey? Badger boar is fighting. Normal badger? Normal badger. Normal badger. I should leave the game paused while I'm reading, I think. He likes a little excitement now and then. Oh, you'll get it. He tries to do things correctly each time and does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. He lives a fast-paced life and he prefers to present himself modestly. He finds obligations confining, though he is conflicted by this for more than one reason. He can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiments and laughs in a distinct fashion. When he's exasperated, he needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally finds moderation and self-control to be very important and does not care about fairness. He likes orpiment and fine pewter, sardonyx and cabochons, and weapon racks, scepters and goblets and cassavas for their roots. The words of the crested wall and the sight of the silkiness of festivals, and when possible prefers to consume. Cave fish and river spirits, and absolutely hates slugs. Unrelated, I'm going to delete one of these workshops. I'm going to check in on this. I'm going to go up to here. We're going to continue extending this pine wall. And on the upper layer, got a reindeer up here. I'm going to start working on the larch overhang. Question, what web browser are you using, Omiran? Oh, did you guys all just get a big crash? I know Twitch is updating some behind-the-scenes stuff, but I've noticed a couple in my after-stream stats a couple times recently. Not high. What web browser are you using, Devilish? I think that might be why. I'm pretty sure it's a Chrome Firefox thing. I'm pretty sure. Actually, why don't I just do it this way? Let's also go mechanic. I don't have any. Let's just not put it there. Be easier if I just put it here. It's going to take a little bit, but How many layers is this at? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. I think usually all you need to do is just refresh the player. Oh, you had a crash in the Twitch app? Interesting. Firefox has been having a lot of issues with Google-hosted things recently, which I think is funny. I don't like these badgers fighting. Keeps making me nervous. I'm also going to begin making a tiny little couple farms. Let's just dig out a little bit of this. I'm gonna put farms in there. Yeah, it's just the thing is I've never had these crashes happen on Firefox, but I've seen it happen to a lot of people saying they use Chrome. I am reading chat right now, D24D. I just don't respond to the YouTube chat. I primarily respond to the Twitch chat. It's in the description of the stream. Job item is lost or destroyed. Okay, it's because they all got moved. It's fine. That is pine. You know what? Attack with these blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's too close. Then I can't do an overhang. So I actually need to do it like right here. Which is fine. Mirror Hall Clay. Thank you very much for the 6th month. Welcome back, dude. Yeah, the new place is nice. You know, you are really, really, really funny. D24D. I was literally about to respond to your question after scrolling up in YouTube chat to check on what people were saying. But now I won't, because you can't read. Read the description of the stream. All right. Like, seriously, like, why do I communicate with you if you are just going to be incapable? Am I so bitter? Hold on. Bitter? You're adorable. Keep being so cute. It's great. Because of what you said last is why I'm not going to bother. Because he says, okay, he ignores the question then. I didn't. I was literally reading it when you wrote that. No, the thing is I respond to YouTube chat slower because YouTube chat is quieter, full of more spam, full of more like sarcastic twats, generally. Because YouTube is powered by a lot more recommendations. So you get randos who are just like, what game ugly? And shit like that. So I don't look at it as often. Also because it's usually quieter than the Twitch chat. So I focus on the place where more people are talking. So if you think I'm bitter, then you're psychotic. But is the game being worked on for tile sets? So the game has like close to 1,000 sprites now. And a significantly larger number for ASCII. I don't know the exact count. So you won't be able to use old tile sets because you need a significantly larger number. Also, the game isn't compatible with square tile sets anymore. It's only compatible with rectangular because of the changes that have been made to the resolution of the game. If you keep an eye on things like Twitch, you may occasionally spot somebody who's using one because they've converted it. There are a few, like you can absolutely go use a tile set. You just have to go make it because the demand isn't there as much. The reason people made tile sets in the past and more or less stopped with the Steam version is because people made tile sets to make it more digestible, right? Because the majority of people playing the game wanted tile sets. And because modding is practically an industry now, and not so much something that you do because you want the game to look different, a lot of those old like tile set makers have all retired more or less and stopped because like back in the day you would make a tile set because you wanted your game to look different. Now people make a tile set because they want to try and make a modding career a lot of the time. It's pretty rare that you'll have modders that are just like, I'm just changing the game because I want it to be different. Like I remember 10 years ago, you'd be on the Bay12 forums and there'd be a guy talking about a mod that he made. And some people are like, hey, why haven't you uploaded it? It's like, I didn't think anybody would want to play it or would care, right? And that's how the tile sets worked back in the day as well to a degree, is it would start because somebody just wanted their game to look different. That's weird. Just immediately got a missed call. Maybe if it's important, they'll call back. So like, if you want a tile set, go update it. You can absolutely use custom tile sets. It just needs to be rectangular. It's very simple. Cyrolac, thanks for the 52nd month. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for our good friend, Cyrolac, and leather expert? I was going to cue something up and now I don't remember what it was. But no, it's all good in regards to the sarcasm. I'm just a sarcastic person. You need to realize that I'm not bitter. I'm not mad at you. But, like, expect sarcasm. And if you can't handle sarcasm, I'm sorry. It is the entirety of my sense of humor is sarcasm. And now it's funny. They're calling me again. I'm going to pick this up. Hold on. My guess was correct. It's an Amazon package. I will be back in a moment. I would leave the game on pause, but I don't trust the weather, so I will be back. Babble amongst yourselves and keep yourselves entertained. If I come back to a hype train, you'll make my day. But, you know, life goes on. BRB, 2 seconds, guys.
Let's take a lovely fruit, the tomato, remove everything that's good from it, the seeds, the vitamins, the nutrients, everything that's good about it, and just jam it full of shit, garbage, shit sugar, and put it in a shit bowl
Over here,
that's
he
put it
has
on your shit. Hey,
a
shit, stop eating ketchup.
You fucking donkey!
Toto, yes. It's called a motor race, okay? We went to car racing.
Bark, 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 bark.
Gee, Earl Grey, hot.
This is my favorite roguelike on the Citadel.
It's a unit system. I know this.
Sandwich!
I heard that. Good news! The wheels for my chair arrived.
Oh, damn it.
I had to buy replacement wheels. And then I immediately drop it on my keyboard. I have wheels. See?
Cheese for everyone!
So I don't need to sit on a fucking brick anymore. Hold on. Just let me install this real quick. Hallelujah.
Bring out your dead!
I am not falling over every couple seconds anymore, and I can roll! Yay! What's the size of this embark? It's 6x6. It's okay. I'm no longer falling now. It's good. I'm on a roll. Yeah, it was one of the few things that got broken. And, you know, honestly, of all the things that could have been broken, that's probably the least bad. Why is this embark so big? Because I wanted maximum motion. Also because it doesn't really affect my frame rate, so why not? Find any odd things with the new place yet? The previous owner fucking loved IKEA. And really liked smart lights. I keep finding random smart lights everywhere. Like, in very odd places. Like, on the inside and the bottom of, like, a cabinet, there's, like, a little motion detecting light that had no battery. I, like, knocked 2 of them off of the bottom of the cabinets in my bathroom this morning. And, like, they don't have a speaker in them or anything. It's just a little motion sensor. So it's just this tiny little, like, light strip, basically, that you walk past it and the light comes on. But, like, I don't know. Like, why? Just buy a lamp. I have not found any more cat toys. Now, I did find about 560 cat toys underneath my stove. There was none under the fridge, though, oddly enough. Every time I say the number of cat toys, it doubles. It was about 12 cat toys. But still, like, a lot of cat toys under the stove. Yeah, like USB Type-C operated ones. The ones in the closets are actually kind of nice, though. I looked up the brand name. They don't have microphones in them or anything, so I'm kind of okay with them existing. They're just little motion detectors, but like, they apparently last for it's like up to 500 days at a full charge, and I charged one of them up completely in like a matter of minutes on my quick charger, so like it's whatever. Double doors and give it to the next guy. No, I'll probably be here for 10 years at least, unless the building falls over. Okay, a cloud of execrable murk drifted nearby. This is the zombifying clouds. Where's this one? Well, that's... Hold on. I'm going to make another burrow, which is just down in here, called Panic! I'm going to assign everybody to this one. I'm going to go up to this one, and I'm going to unassign everybody. And, say go underground, like, right the fuck now. Like, right now. I mean, I don't see it. I don't know why it appeared, like, right there of all places. These clouds are breaking my trust. Let's go into predator mode and do a scan. Looks like the ocean is melting into late spring. I fucking love the way this map looks in ASCII. We're about to get hit by an ad, so I'm not going to unpause for a sec, but... Why am I building why am I building above ground? For the entertainment factor? The last couple forts I've done a lot of volcano forts, and I've done a lot of very underground forts. I haven't done a surface fort in quite some time, so gotta change it up, keep things interesting, you know? That's why we are building above ground. Fallout shelters. Sure, yeah, I need to build bunkers all over this fortress. Does it show up in ASCII? I actually find the clouds easier to see in ASCII. They're like they're giant gray blobs or purple blobs, depending on, or sometimes other colored blobs, depending on what they are. But in there it is. This is the cloud. So I guess it started here and then is going this way. So yeah, that's the cloud. In out of ASCII, they look like this, which I find that way harder to see. Just taking notes. The ads are done in 5 seconds here. I do hope civilian... So civilian alerts, I am 99% certain, are a Mandela effect thing. There was a alert button, but civilian alerts proper, the way people think they work, was a DF hack thing and never was a vanilla feature. The burrows, this button, because like I've actively been playing older versions of the game, especially recently again because I'm recording for a side project thing. The burrows button, this pause thing, originally said alert when you enabled it. So civilian alerts are not going to get, what's the word, re-added in, because they were never in. That was a DF hack feature. What are those rolls at the store? These things, these are driftwood logs. They're just an aesthetic thing. Same with these boulders. So yeah, it looks like this evil cloud started on the edge of my fort and is now going this way. That's spooky. I don't like it starting so close to my wall. I think I'm gonna have to build a building around this as well pretty soon. Just keep the game paused. Unpause this. I think it's because like most people, Mirror Hall Clay, played Dwarf Fortress using the starter pack, more popularly known as Lazy Noob Pack, and it came with that stuff prepackaged, right? So like, whether you realized it or not, a lot of people were playing with additional tools enabled, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is fine, but like the result is there were features in the game that are often stated as, I hope that that gets added back in, when I'm pretty certain they were never there. I'm not sure. We'll see. They can't spawn indoors. So if like I have solid walls, they will not go through the walls. They'll go around the walls. But they'll go through like bars and grates, and they tend to stick to one Z level, so it's unlikely that they will go over top of my walls, so they'll like hit the wall and then stop. But we'll see. I'm just going to build... We'll just use Bayberry here. Bayberry there. This map has badgers? It does! Every day they badger in. I'm starting to run a little low on drink and also food, but I'm just going to make a still. Just going to cut out a chunk of this. A bit more than I wanted, but that's fine. Plunk the still down there. And just say, use the bayberry logs. Nice forest map? Yeah, it's probably they're probably just a taiga region thing, if I had to bet. That's part of the reason, probably. Always have been. Canadian. Some nihilist. Here, love the adventure mode. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying adventure mode, Creepy Outdoors. Username checks out too. Whereabouts? I grew up Fraser Valley, so Greater Vancouver area, and I recently moved to Victoria. So by recently, I mean, what day is it right now? What day is it currently? I don't even know. It's the 5th, so I've been here for 4.5 days. Oh, also, I just realized something. Game isn't saving. I turned off, oh no, it is saving. Duh. Just must have flicked away. And, I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier today or not, I might have. But I've been here for a couple of days, right? Somebody in my building recognized me. Which, like, that never happens. It's like, God damn it. Just randomly looks at me and goes, "You make YouTube videos?" I was like, what makes you say that? It actually makes me wonder, like, how often people are just, like, because oh, they're sleeping, okay. How often I walk everywhere, and it's like, do people, like, just driving see me while I'm just walking and just go, wait, what? Makes me wonder. Because I know I've done that. Like, where I used to live, there was a, it's gonna be very specific, a weed YouTuber who lived locally to where I used to live. And every now and again, I would see him just, like, on the side of the road, like, briskly walking to the coffee shop to, like, go get a coffee. And I'd just see him at a distance and be like, "Huh!" and just keep walking. I don't think my audience is young enough to say that, unless like they'd happen to be driving their mom around vaporizer. But my like 99.5% of my audience is above the age of 20, so. You know, I've never had somebody ask me, excuse me, are you blind? But I have had people say, do you make Dwarf Fortress videos? GW and Great White, Sneaky Pete, if you must know. If you've ever seen Sneaky Pete's video where he, back when he used to cut his face off at the top, and he talks about how vaporizing is healthier, which it is, but not by much. I used to live like 2 blocks from the coffee shop that he filmed that video at. And I remembered seeing that video, which had like 1 million views, and just going like, brah, wow. Someone's just like bribing the bot behind the scenes. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy, Diamond. I've seen the first Clerks. That's it. But usually during an argument, yeah. I mean, I've said this before, Havoc. If I could not have been named blind, I would have. But at this point, it's kind of just something I get to live with, I guess. Let's do wooden door, and let's keep them consistent materials. Say bayberry wood. How's our expedition leader doing? Wants excitement, he wants to fight, argue, be extravagant, learn something, and help somebody. In which order, though? My name isn't Bill, so I wouldn't go with that. My name isn't Tom, though. But it's fine. I mean, people can just call me Greg. I don't mind having a username that started off as self-deprecating humor. What, Blind IRL is a cool name? I think it's a good username. I think that it causes more annoyances than benefits, though. Because, like, the number of times I've been accused of lying because of my username, if I had $1 for every time I did that, I would have a lot of dollars at this point. Every time somebody popped into my chat and was just like, "You're not actually blind!" I'm like, just pardon me while I set you on fire and kill your family. Or curse your family with a hex and then damn your relatives to hell. Meanie. You've been watching my videos and streams since you were 16? Okay, well, you're in the 0.5%. I mean, that rule is more of a suggestion. It's more of just like act like a child and you'll get banned. You're fighting a Hydra for like 20 minutes already, and suddenly he became enraged. That means he's pretty injured and in a lot of pain. It's a way to suppress pain. It's sort of like the non-dwarven equivalent of what's it called? A martial trance. Because only dwarves can have martial trances. Executable Merc is drifting nearby. Where's this one? Okay, so this one's pretty far away. It's just the badgers on the map. I think I'm gonna make a craft store. Actually, how are we doing on those blocks? I'm gonna deconstruct another one of those. Well, actually, we should do the upper walls first. Should also chop down all this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct the upper walls. And I'm going to... Or not deconstruct. I'm going to finish constructing the upper walls. And I'm going to make a craftsdwarf shop and start making some sort of crafts. Maybe just even wood crafts, because I need to sell something. We also need to get mechanics up and running. Because, well, I do have a mechanics guild. But on top of the mechanics guild, I need to, you know, get, like, these lockable. Let's, you know, I have a question, Devilish Potato. Are you a cop? Are you? Because I'm not. So, let's not worry about it, yeah? Anyway. Or did I just out you as, like, the secret, like... agent making sure that all of my rules are being enforced? If they're not gonna cause a problem, then no big problem, eh? That's it. That's about it. Like, as long as they not cause problem, then there is no problem. That rule exists so that I can bop people for being obnoxious because they're being obnoxious because I deem that they're obnoxious. Like, technically, if you're like, I'm 12, yes, I have to ban you. But as long as you're above the age of 12, I don't technically have to remove you from the stream. That rule is there because if I think you're annoying, I will remove you from the stream for my own sanity. Well, obviously not, because everybody in the FBI is getting laid off. Or wait, is that the CIA, actually? Happy to help, Jesus. Say, I just got buyout offers. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. Next subject. Salford Sal not being a spy. I had a dwarf named after Salford Sal once, and she betrayed me. I actually don't need that many. Let's leave you follow. This one right here. Autumn potato. Winter potato. Spring potato. Another cloud of murk is drifting nearby. This one's at the far end of the ocean. So old Canadian YouTube. Do you remember Luffy? No. No, I do not. I mean, maybe, but not off the top of my head anyway. I really like the way that little garden looks. I really quite like it. I think it looks nice. Do clouds usually show up like that? They can appear anywhere within the evil biome. Sometimes it's the edge of the map, sometimes the middle of the map. It's like fog. It appears when you least expect it and is always inconvenient. However, the ocean is now fully thawed, so I'm just going to go down to here, and I'm gonna just dig all this out because I need the rocks. And in order to go down, I need to go through a heavy aquifer. So just being able to do this is actually quite nifty. It's actually quite nifty. I could also go quite a few Z levels down. Oh, wow. This actually goes pretty deep. I could go down to like here and then dig diagonally into this and use that. There's also a light aquifer under this side, but we'll go through the heavy aquifer in this fort because fun. I'm fucking heavy with this fort. What? What does that mean? I've never heard that terminology before, so I will just smile and nod and believe you. But I know I fuck with that. I've certainly heard that, but I've never heard I'm fucking heavy with something. That's a new one to me. Yeah, I've never heard that before, Al. Well, I know of don't fuck with that. And I know I've heard people and I've said I fuck with that, but I've never heard somebody say I'm fucking heavy. Like that's a new one to me. Learn something every day. How does the wall protect the colony from the fog? It protects the colony from the zombies that are outside of the How much you want to bet he drowned? Missing for a week. How could that have happened? Big Bang has been missing for a week. Well, that's awkward because he had one of my 2 pickaxes. You just flooded your fort again. Well done. Clap. Pawns in the fort. They're still frozen. They haven't thawed yet. No, if it began, he would be opposed to life on this screen. So he's not undead. He just died. I have no idea how. Which, honestly, I'm kind of impressed. How does that... How? Hey, chat, let me know if you see a dead dwarf, eh? Did they hit an aquifer? They auto-stop digging when you hit the aquifer, and yes, we did in fact hit an aquifer. There he is. There he is. Probably got spooked by something, and then was standing over top, and then drowned. Yeah, no, he can't have hit the aquifer. It's impossible for me to have hit the aquifer, I would die. So I'm going to grab this tool and grab this tool and go one beneath you. Oh. Now I know that is there. So when it freezes again in 2 months, I will dig down to him. Doesn't have a pick, then who does? Hold on. Okay, so you've got one. Oh. Okay, you're right, he doesn't have a pick. Oh well. That's awkward. I'm also going to, real quick, I'm going to go up to here and make a coffin. Can I not make a wooden coffin? Oh, casket. Right. And then when this gets dug out soon, actually I need to make sure it's in the burrow. It is in the burrow. When this gets dug out, I'm going to make a slab and we'll memorialize them. Yeah, I'm very confused about that. As to how that happened anyway. Also growing potatoes. But yeah, no, it is very good that he responsibly dropped this pick, but I'm sorry, Big Bang, if you're still watching. What's taters? I'm not sure how to respond to that, but is anything opposed to life here? No. I'm just like amazed. Like how does that happen? There was like no reason for him to walk that way, but such is the life of settling on an ocean, I guess. So you don't really get pulled into the ocean unless something swam on and then immediately left the map. Oh, I know what I was going to queue up a while ago. I was going to queue up wooden bolts. Let's do lurch, 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 lurch. All the way around the edge. Your guess is badgers? Yeah, I mean, like, I've definitely seen things get spooked by the badgers and run away. So yeah, the badgers must have startled him, and he just must have ran south at, like, the worst possible time and then fell through the ice. I mean, like, honestly, that's a pretty realistic death, right? Like, you're just walking through the forest outside of your home, and then suddenly you see something and it startles you, and you take 10 steps to the left and you fall through thin ice. It's probably happened many times. Hide the peeler he's onto. This is like one of those oh man, I Love Cupcakes kind of things from Addis's movie, except with potatoes. How are we today? I think we're pretty good. Chat, how are we today? Kind of amazed the dwarves are as happy as they are currently. I had a dwarf drown, which is awkward. Just gonna go down into here and go stoneworker. And I'm going to make that slab. Let's just say, queue up an order for slab. Just make one. You're okay for having a cold? I guess it must be a mild cold then. Yeah, same rules as yesterday, except because we're on a map with zombifying evil weather, I'm going to take full advantage of that and use it to make zombies. And we're playing as a different faction. I'm not playing as that almost dead faction. I'm playing as the Tower of Clobbering, because it's a funny name. And I like funny names. Funny name's good. Cloud of execrable Merc has arrived. Wear it. Ah! I think we go into the bunker. I don't like that at all. And another one has drifted nearby. Where's the other one? Oh man, I should have cleared the first one. Another one has drifted nearby. Okay, well, this one's far away. What about the second one? Let me just view this in ASCII to scan quicker. Don't see any more. It's just normal mist. Well, let's unpause. Doesn't seem to be doing much up here. Must have collided with the wall and dissipated. Nothing is opposed to life. I think I'm going to wait until the ads are done. But it does seem that the dwarves got underground quickly. Now we'll pause the game. I remember I put a nail under a tire to make him have to change it. Wait, what? Wait, what? Why are we putting nails under people's tires to make sure they have to change it in the snow? I feel like I missed part of this conversation. Little peeved because your boss refuses to close your job for the massive snowstorm tomorrow, but otherwise chilling. That sucks, yeah. It rained this morning, apparently, before I woke up, and now it's below 0 outside, so all of the snow yesterday that we have is now a gigantic fucking brick of ice, which is great. Like, great. I am ecstatic about this. Which is why I ordered groceries yesterday, because I just moved in, right? So I basically have no food in the apartment. And I ordered groceries for the first time in my life because I was like, I could walk there, but it's just like a sheet of black ice between here and the grocery store. So what if I just like order it? How the heck do you find tree houses in Elven Treats in adventure mode? If they're populated, they are just normal trees, but they're going to be in like a grid pattern. And then the central tree is going to look much bigger than a normal tree and be pretty obvious and have a different name when you hover your mouse over it or look at it. All right, we should be through the ads. I guess nobody is a, actually, I could just, under the panic zone, I can add this into it. Just say, go do that, please. As we make some Longland beer, I think. Yeah, it is beer. Sweet. Barley. Oh. Man, where these dwarves are going to be drinking good in this fort. All the variety. But yeah, we'll see you later, Riley. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to presume it is safe up here. Although, since the dwarves are all inside, I'm actually going to lock this. I'm actually going to lock that. So they should be able to come upstairs again and get back to work. Yep, there they go. Potatoes is growing. Gig moth, hello. I am chilly. I'm the sort of person to never really turn the heating on. The heating is on slightly so that it's not below freezing in here so my plants don't die, but like, it's actually kind of chilly, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna put on a hoodie. Sergeant Donut, can you be a dwarf? Absolutely, but we don't have much option, so we only have 6. So I think because we started at not the 1st of spring, it seems like our population is being limited. But we'll get normal migrant waves when year 2 starts. Another way to find tree houses is look up Jake Applehouse. Get back in my box. I'm back in my box. Dealer's choice. Chat, what dwarf does do donut get? We got Shorast, we got Kel. Yeah, I got Kel or Shorast. Those are the two available. Does donut seem like a diagnose nut or a mechan nut? I guess you're a mechanic who's currently mining. I can type. Sergeant Donut. Some migrants have arrived, allegedly, I will pause the game, is very rarely develops negative feelings towards things, does not generally seek retribution for past wrongs, has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications, and has a greedy streak, and often feels discouraged when working on projects. And she is often cheerful and finds obligations confining, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason. Occasionally overindulges and is not particularly interested in what others think about her. Or she isn't particularly interested in the world, is what I should have said that. She likes to take it easy, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day, and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Yeah, I closed that for no reason. She dreams of mastering a skill and personally believes that war is preferable to peace in general. Values eloquence and finds the pursuit of knowledge to be a waste of effort. Likes native silver, lead, and tubagate, as well as deer hoof and sheep wool, rope reed and paper, and battle axes and quivers and nightmares for their unfathomably horrifying nature. And the words of the prim wisps, and when possible prefers to consume lychee wine, and hates fire snakes. You can check what part of group they're in. Can't you check, like, well, I mean, you can look at their armor. Their armor, if it has symbols on it, will tell you what faction they came from, because they inscribe the faction name in their armor, usually. So I need to go over to here and open this up. And open this up. Come on in, Dwarf. Legendary metal crafter? Damn, son. $50 years old, eh? That's kind of wild. Huh. You're kind of sus. High Master Gem Cutter. Competent Weaponsmith. Endok the Miner. Well, we're up to 10 dwarves. And a pig. And a bunny. Damn it! Bunny's got a name. I will make... You know... I have a way that I can use all of the zombies now. I can use bunnies to train them. I can use animals that I don't want to train the zombies. That's what we can do. Greetings from Greece. Hello. Keep on digging the earth, or better yet, building a wall instead. I mean, we are digging. We were just also building. We're an adequate engraver, competent poet. But see, like this guy has other skills. Legendary metalsmith, man. Not a bad little migrant wave. I'm gonna follow you. It's not that I don't trust you, it's I just don't trust anybody. But thank you for the $1. Caught sass. I mean, there's a possibility they'll path through the clouds, but we'd also need clouds to be on the screen at the exact moment, which currently I don't think there are any. Yes, it is in fact possible to build to muddy built floors. It's very much possible. I need to keep an eye on this dwarf and see if they go drink something. Yesterday I had migrants coming in from the frozen ocean in the winter. So I think it's more likely to happen in the winter, because right now the clouds are technically supposed to only appear over the ocean, but they've appeared in more places than that. So I think the migrants should be pretty safe for the most part. Except for when they're not, I guess. I'm just going to keep following this dwarf, because I don't trust you. I mean, they'll trust you. I should really start making beds, actually, is the thing I should do. Planting seeds. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to pause game for a second. Say, hey, dwarves, can you make some beds? Let's just make 25 beds. And we're going to make them out of larch. They don't always have the same effects, Copper Lion. Sometimes they make your dwarves just vomit. Sometimes they make them into zombies. Sometimes they make them do other things. Sometimes they make their skin rot. So it depends on what clouds in question you have, but sometimes they'll be a bigger threat than others. Correct, Devilish, yes. But yeah, haunted can absolutely be pretty threatening. And once again, I did this a little earlier, but chat, thank you very much for the 245 folks watching here on Twitch and 145 on YouTube. It's good to have YouTube people watching in numbers. And over here on Twitch, I'm currently $3 away from my daily minimum. So, like, 1 Prime subscription will more or less cover that. Or 1 more resub, but we're almost there. People can be so angry, I just don't understand. So I'm comfortable around others that appear unusual or differently from herself. She's quick to form negative views about things. She's an active imagination. She's slow to anger and she doesn't cling to tightly to imagination. She is slow to anger and doesn't cling tightly to ideas, is open to changing her mind, and occasionally overindulges. Man, I can't believe that hasn't been built yet. Like, come on, guys. Yeah, you can buy message effects for $1. You can also embiggen emotes, but I made the embiggen emotes a little bit expensive because I find them really distracting. I'm just gonna put the pet animals over here so that they don't become zombies and then come back and kill us. Now we've hit it. Thanks, Real Gamer Cow. Means a lot, mate. Seriously. You know, I'm gonna give this metal crafter mining, I think is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna remove the expedition leader from it. So how are the weather zombies doing? There are none in the fort currently. Do I watch any streamers? Yes. Why? Interesting fort ideas with Orc Gladiator Pit. That is a fort idea. It's all called to get through the working day, hey? If dwarves actually witness the murder, they will be the opposite of entertained. In fact, they'll be disturbed and hate their lives the majority of the time. So, you know, if you're going to make a gladiator pit, just know that going in. Dwarves don't actually like gladiator pits. In fact, I would say it's more the opposite, actually. So fun fact, Kroski, not only can you have a spy in your faction, but if you have a spy in the faction and they go off and pass off information to somebody outside of your fort, if say you have traps in a checkered board pattern, they will learn where those traps are. And I'm going to need to disable that, actually, because I didn't realize. I always forget that that counts for pets and animals as well. If it's in a checkered board pattern and not completely blocking a walkway, they'll actually walk around your traps, which I really like. Because traps are, the reason like the enemy just steps on them is because you can see them, but they're hidden. Basically, they're stealthed. And so individuals can see them, but not everybody will see them simultaneously. Meaning like one guy could see it and go like, oh God, there's a trap, and then walk around it. And then somebody else goes, da-de-da-de-da, and then walks into the trap and gets impaled on a spike. Whereas if you have spies in your fort, they will actively just walk around your traps, which I think is kind of cool. Sometimes also visitors can be spies. But visitors can come and convert your dwarves as well. And then when they convert your dwarf, then they'll just continue living in your fort. So I don't know if you're necessarily getting a spy situation, but one of your dwarves could absolutely be passing off information. I'm literally looking for becomes an adult. Like somebody grows up. There it is. I'm waiting for this dwarf to eat or drink. I specifically made Winter Throne into a vampire fortress. There was no non-vampires left by the end of it. So, yes. Hell yeah, you watched Ghost Candy. Somebody did. I could not, that I could get that. I mean, it's surprisingly easy. Okay, you're thirsty, so you're not a vampire. You're just a legendary metal crafter. Yeah, you're gonna go get a drink. Well, that's a little disappointing, but woo! It is good that you're not a vampire. Someone should make a slab now. I'm also going to go up to here and go mechanisms. They will drink, but not booze. Euphoric due to inebriation. But zombification by environment things. A few days ago, I made an embark in a mirthful tundra near a haunted ocean. No ocean tiles in the embark, and all The animals turned into ghouls immediately after embark and didn't even unpause. No invisible clouds or snow. So what can happen is there's several different ways things can get zombified. One of those ways is touching a liquid. And touching a liquid can happen in the form of falling from the sky in rain. So if rain, this is like zombifying mist, right? Probably what you ran into is a map where it's currently raining when you embark, and you get rained on. I have a YouTube video called "I Played in the Worst Map in Dwarf Fortress." If you go watch that video, it'll explain all of that because I deal with that in that video. But literally, like if you embark and immediately die, or immediately become ghouls, and immediately lose, yeah, that's what's happening. It's just actively snowing or raining, and it's snowing zombifying stuff. It happens sometimes. It basically means that area isn't playable in Fortress mode. It's also my most viewed video, so it's pretty easy to find. Devilish, why are you fighting with a badger? Like, I just saw a dwarf come, just run across the screen and up here. I got attacked. Well, I'm terrified while in conflict. Buddy, it was a badger. I'm sure we'll have bigger problems than that. Like, if that's gonna cause you to run away screaming, like, oh boy, just you wait. Just you wait. You ever fight a badger? No, I stay very far away from wild animals like a smart individual. Sheesh. Living in Canada my whole life has taught me to run away from badgers. Especially honey badgers. Although the gods must be crazy taught me that. That's not a badger. That's a pine mart. And also I stayed away from it, because the second it acted like it wanted to fight, I ran away. As you should. It did growl at me, though. So there's a photo of me on the internet somewhere, I think on Twitter, actually, of me lying down in a field completely surrounded by geese. I am of the opinion that geese are extremely docile and chill. Unless you are a child, acting aggressive, or have a dog. If you have one of those three things, they get all weird. But like, there is many instances in my life where I've literally been completely surrounded by geese and I've never
may
had a
not like
problem.
socialists, but I like this one at Blinderl. Love you.
I may not like socialists, but I like this one, me. Well, then you like socialists. You just don't agree with their politics, which is a different thing. So you may not agree with socialists, but you accept me as a human who has different opinions and takes than you. Anyway, thanks for the third month. Welcome back. Goose Whisperer. I would say it's just incorrect use of the English language, but sure, silly is a word to say it, or a way to say it. Let's just plant fisher berries, I think, because I have shit tons of fisher berries. Can you whisper a honk? No, but I did fall asleep in the field with them. There's a berserk badger running into my fort. The funniest thing about people saying they don't like socialists, I realize Nasty probably is not intending to start this conversation, is that you actively benefit from a lot of socialist policies. Like, if you've ever driven on a road, congratulations, you like socialism. Like, the reason that exists is because there's a construct between people to agree that we should work on a thing and put money into a thing as a group. That's socialism. Or, parking, like public parking that you don't have to pay for. That's socialism. Just saying. Like any public service, basically. Yeah, libraries. Schools. Anyway. I digress. Canada Goose decided to make its nest. Well, it's a nest! And attacked I got attacked by a hummingbird once because I was near its nest. It was one of the scariest things that ever happened to me as a 5-year-old. Like, genuinely. No jokes or irony there. Like, genuinely, it was one of the scariest things that I've ever experienced, was getting attacked by a frickin' hummingbird. Everything in moderation, I think. Including yelling at the guy in charge. Coffee and coding, but let's not just babble about politics today. I'm trying to avoid the subject currently because of the general state of the planet, which makes me want to scream. What are we placing into a stockpile? Okay, so we're just placing wood into stockpiles. I'm actually just going to nuke this stockpile. It's a waste of dwarven effort currently. I think I should have that slab. Let's see. Yes. A cloud of execrable murk drifted nearby. Okay, this is about as far away as you can get, so that's good. I wonder where the badgers are trying to go. Noted. If I spot it, I'll grab it. Speaking of, I need to actually visit the local library here, but I'm not going to do that until the ice is gone. It's a little slippy right now. Most of the dwarves are just constructing buildings or conducting meetings. Two or 3 years into your current fort, but you still haven't made any actual farms. Yeah, you basically don't need them. Another one. I love how these things come in waves. Like, every now and again, there's just like a whole bunch of these evil clouds. Now I don't even know where this one is because I can only jump to one of them. Oh, well, there's one of them. But where's the... Okay, so there's another one over here. What direction's it going? Seems to be just going this way. Okay, not a big threat. Staying a safe distance away. I would likely be able to play more Dwarf Fortress. It's an interesting way of looking at things. I'm sorry that your attempt at humor turned into this conversation, Dusty. I guess, like, the unfortunate reality is I didn't find it particularly funny. But thank you so much for the resub. I'm glad you enjoy the streams. I will try and change subject. Chat can babble about it if they like, but I will just let it babble. This is right next to the one from yesterday, yeah. I mean, if I go to the overworld YouTube chat, you just see the destroyed one from yesterday. You don't even see the one that we're in. Actually, it looks like we're playing in a destroyed fortress. Even more reasons why we should be able to zoom in, damn it. Also, there's mosquitoes everywhere in this world. I keep seeing them, but, like, I only just managed to pause the game with them there. I'm just gonna queue up wooden cages. Let's do 40 wooden cages. And just use whatever wood. Well, actually, let's use larch. You have a good feeling about the number 111? Well, it is number 1x3, so you should come first 3 times, right? That's how that works. I also would like to begin digging down. And I'll just queue all of this up while I'm waiting for the ads to play. I mean, nothing's gonna happen as long as you don't bring it up, right? Like, that's the reality. It's like, if you disagree with people on stuff, it's totally fine to disagree with people. Just don't bring it up. It'll only happen if you make it happen. Bite me, and no, it does. Bite does not mean zombification. It's like Thanksgiving. Yeah, don't talk to the uncle that, like, you don't agree with anything on about why the thing he agrees or thinks about is wrong, right? Let's set up choke points. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Things absolutely walk through them. I'm not trying to catch badgers, though. Although I'm probably going to start catching badgers in a minute when they inevitably start stepping in those traps, but ads are done now. So I've queued up digging down here, because we're going to start digging out that lower region. Also going to brew drink from plant down here.
Woo!
And I'm going to remove 2 more of these. And I'm going to build a kitchen. I've always read YouTube chat, Hat for a Cat. I just only read it when it's relevant. Okay, so I engraved that memorial. Now I need to figure out where to put it. I think putting gravestones on the surface in a fort like this is fitting. I'm gonna plunk that down up there. And, you know, we're talking about essentially building a tower, so why don't we start building a tower? I'm gonna need to move this, but yeah, let's do it down here. So you move up here. You move up here. That's not what I wanted to do, but oh well. I hit the wrong button. I also got some baby alpacas. And then turkeys over here. You guys go up to this corner. And that can just be moved later. This is all pine. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this can go over to about here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like the placement of those stairs. But we're going to make it work. So this will take a little bit to put together, but this is just going to become my first structure in the fortress. We can actually get some bedrooms built in here, which will be nice. And it'll be a good time. I think that what Nosti is trying to communicate, Shaku, is that they're just terrible at, like, realizing that they're not going to agree with me, which is acceptable. Humans don't need to agree on everything. And that in order for them to participate in conversation, they feel the need to bring up how they think I'm wrong about my logical life decisions and why their decisions are correct, why their takes are correct, which is a crappy mindset to have, and I'm kind of pity them for it. But the reality is, because of their own lack of self-control, they just insist on informing people of that. And, you know, how they're talking about how they're afraid about what might happen. Nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to tell you you're wrong. It's like, oh no, the world's going to fucking end. There you go, Coats Last Mind Dev. That's pretty dope, dude. Nothing except caged invaders as pets, because the thing is, if they're hostile to you, then they're hostile to the people that you're trading them to. And when you trade something like an animal, if it's hostile and not trained, it'll get released from the cage when the trade is completed. So you're basically just doing the equivalent of releasing an enemy soldier into the person that you're trading with's trading card. Is literally the thing that you are doing. So not generally recommended. Nothing else has occurred, Shaku. My pro tip to you, Nasty. I feel like I've had this conversation with you before. Don't bring it up. That's it. Very easy. I don't care what your politics are if you don't enforce them on me. You should do the same thing. In YouTube chat, I figured out how to disarm. You construct the cage, and then you build a garbage dump zone, and then you select the cage to be dumped while it's constructed, and then it dumps all their gear off of them. I usually just say screw it and kill them. I didn't reclaim. I settled right next to the location, with more ocean this time. And I've also set notifications to ping me whenever there is suspicious weather on the map. Have I got any visitors yet? No, not yet. Because I burrowed the dwarves on land immediately, and because the rain only happens over the water, I think we're kind of safe-ish right now. Let's go up to layer 13. We'll slowly build that tower. What you studying, though? Got sass? Yeah, that's the useful part, actually, Chris. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Tower of Clobbering is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarves. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. And I don't really have anything to trade. I think probably what I'm gonna do, could just sell them beds. I think I'm just going to cut some gems pretty quick here. Or I could just sell them some cages. Some empty cages. A little bit awkward, but computers and telecommunications. Well, congrats. It's an important part of life, if you choose to go that route anyway. You know, Baka, I'm really tempted to time you out for that statement. Like, just on multiple levels. You good? Like, come on. The key to telling jokes is to be funny. Hey, chat, can we drown that joke in beer, please? Just make it go away. I mean, they'll want to see. I mean, you don't need to waste the cage to get rid of prisoners. You can literally just throw them off a cliff or into lava. Man, these dwarves have steel. Good for them. It's grouchy when caught in a snowstorm. Word. For diplomacy, the outpost, the expedition leader meets with the outpost liaison, and they say, "I'm your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. There's much to share. Information has been added to the civilization world info. What requests do you have of our merchants?" I'm going to request. How many animals I can request? I don't have any animals I can request. I'm going to request. I think I'm gonna request some hematite. It's gonna take me a while to get through that. They want windows and meat. Okay. Noted. You love throwing them into a closeout. What's funny is they can just leave the map through the edge of the caverns if they don't go splat. They break free and attack. It's kind of why you stopped. That happens if the job gets canceled. So something is canceling the job. So depending on where you're throwing them, like, are you throwing them down a pit? Because if there's something scary in that pit, that will cancel the job. If they see whatever's scary in that pit. So as long as you're throwing it somewhere where the next dwarf throwing the next prisoner or the dwarf doing the task doesn't see something scary during that process, you should be fine. Where is this cloud? At the other end of the map in the middle of the ocean. Good to know. And then over here, let's just bring... I don't even... let's just bring a few beds. Everything else is too valuable. But I need to trade something. What do they have that I want? Could just buy their some of their booze. I think I'm going to buy some fish. Because we ain't fishing anytime soon. And some food variety is good. That's the amount that I can afford for those beds. And we'll trade. Yeah, I mean, if there's something alive at the bottom of the pit, that's certainly going to scare the crap out of them, right? Definitely something you would like to try to avoid having happen. Yeah, that too. Soft X. Basically, like, the key is to just do one at a time. What kind of mixed drink, Shaku? Any ideas? The day that I moved in here, I had my first half glass, which equates to about 2 ounces. It's like about 2 shots worth of a bottle of Ardbeg 10-year that I've been hoarding. Right, Glue, hello. Yeah, but you can put wood in minecarts. I could actually set up a wood minecart route in this world pretty easily. Even if it literally just goes from like here to like down here. That'd be very easy to set up too. stuff can fly into. Okay, so use, what's it called? Pressure plates that are triggered by the weight of a minecart, or a dwarf if a dwarf is pushing the minecart, Havoc. And link the pressure plate up to either a trap door or a series of bars that cover the thing that the wood would fall into. And have it trigger the pressure plate right before it arrives in its location, and then get it to trigger a second one shortly after, which will then close it. Like there's a solution to this problem. It just requires some more addition. Did I make Fockers? I did not make Fockers because that fort died. This is a new fort in the same world right next to the old one. I haven't actually looked if Fockers were available because I'll be completely honest with you, I forgot that they existed. So, let's see, do you have any? They're a musical instrument for anybody who's wondering. And we're also playing as a different faction. Uh-oh, cloud of ugly fog is coming by. Anything fun happened today? We keep getting attacked by badgers. Where is this cloud of spooky mist? I am not seeing it. Well, I can just kind of hope for the best. Oh, there it is. Oof. Yeah, that's scary. You just lost a fort of 80 to were-lizards. Yeah, that sucks. Don't like that. It really badgered me. It turns them into weather zombies. So it makes them opposed to life, the same way that the zombies in Godly Tombs worked, which are the most dangerous type of zombies in Dwarf Fortress, to my knowledge. Oh, it's going all right, Demon Star. Thanks for the raid today and yesterday. You did a reclaim yesterday, lost fort to undead because you forgot to set up the gate. Ah, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Oh man. Found 2 bayberry wood wall pieces. I screwed up. Rolf, thanks for gifting a sub to Demonster. Enjoy the emotes, dude. Chat, go give Demonster a follow. If you, or star, probably. If you want to see more Dwarf Fort. More Dwarf Fort streams. We might end up here at the end of the day. Love the emotes. Cooler has done a fantastic job on most of them. Sims Legacy patches. You're such a nerd. Fucking giraffe. Although, actually, what year? The Sims 1 is older than Dwarf Fortress, as far as I know. I think. It's like, you and my sister-in-law are the only people I know that are talking about Sims Legacy. And you two are way too excited. It's okay, though. It's okay to like things. One could say it's the first good release that EA Games has done in a while. Oh, Sims by a mile, probably. I mean, so many more people play The Sims than Dwarf Fortress. It's probably not even a contest. Let's just give them beds at the very least, because at least it'll be a bedroom that isn't outside. Can move this later, or convert it into something else. But having all these dwarves sleeping outside is not good. I shouldn't be doing this, but... Yet here I am. This can also be moved inside into here. You can drown your Sims by taking away the ladder again. Yeah. As nature intended, right? Oh, look, we caught a badger. It's a badger excretable husk. Hold on. We've got our first. I think I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go to the main burrow, and I'm actually gonna remove the outside of the fence. So that's why I have the walls, folks. That is why we built this little fort here. Because all those things need to do is bite something, and then they're opposed to life. And making everything around you opposed to life is basically a death sentence. So unless, like, the dwarves knock their teeth out, like, immediately, they are as dangerous as were creatures, basically. Well, I guess I need to actually disable this as well. And I also need an animal stockpile for full cages. Animals... Right, yeah, okay. So this will get hauled. A were raccoon? Oh no! Not the were trash panda. So the merchants are embarking on their journey. Kind of curious to see how they do. If you feed a grazer animal people in the fortress, then the elephant man in my fortress isn't eating anything. Burrow him on grass. Or make his bedroom on grass. Yeah, this is another one of the reasons why I don't like having animal people in my forts. Because the ones that have unexpected dietary restrictions can be quite a pain. I want to say this is larch, yep. Thankfully, I got tons of larch in here. But yeah, just make sure that you pasture them somewhere with grass so that they can easily get to a place where they can find some food or some sustenance. So we're about to get hit by an ad. When the ad pops, I'm just going to pause the game and just queue up constructions without unpausing. Some migrants have arrived. Hopefully not in the middle of a cloud. Get inside now, critters. Okay. I don't think any biome has all the same wood color because every wood is a slightly different shade. Buttsworth? I mean, you need to make like a 6x6 grassy harvesting area per elephant, but yeah, they can keep themselves alive. Like I don't fully get the like you can't raise elephants because they starve to death. Only if you have like a shitload of them. But even then, you just need multiple layers of grass. So I mean, with cavern moss, it's easy to keep elephants alive. I've had like 30, 40 elephants in a fort before without issue. It's just a matter of like, are you going out of your way to try and keep them alive? Am I building just with one type of wood? Yeah, I'm being particular about what's walls and what's floors. In certain locations, so things match. Yeah, but that was like more than 10 years ago. Like that was a long time ago, soft text. That was like 2013, like pre-34 patches. Like that was a long ass time ago. Okay, well, should read patch notes once in a while. Or like check the wiki. But yes, you know, it's been a long time, you know? Here's the thing. I say never do this because this is a bad idea in general for games like Dwarf Fortress. Like, don't use ChatGPT to learn video games. ChatGPT probably knows that. I burnt out on RimWorld after 3,000 hours and decided I never wanted to play it again, Apolloc, and I'm not bored of Dwarf Fortress after tens of thousands of hours. That's what I like more about Dwarf Fortress than RimWorld is I'm not bored of it. I'm bored of RimWorld. And I think I'll tell you why I'm tired of RimWorld. Because people keep asking me what I think of RimWorld. That's why I'm tired of RimWorld. You get exhausted? That's interesting. I don't know how I would feel if I booted it up now. Although I like that we're at the point now as a community where someone can ask me about RimWorld and the chat just responds because they know what my response is going to be. I do like that we're at that point. Like, I've got you guys very, very well educated in my takes. So thanks, chat. You guys, you're the real ones. I trained you well. Yeah, apparently. Maybe it's you've all asked me once, and I've just explained it to enough people now, and you've all heard me say it once, and then heard me explain it to a dozen more people in the same day, that people are just kind of going, ah, right. Death Kyle, thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Nah, that won't help. Make a bomb. I've had commands like that in the past, and people still ask. And then they ask for elaborations and go, well, but I love video game. Why don't you love video game? Because I love video game. It's like, well, because I played it for thousands of hours during early access, and I liked the early access builds more. Didn't like the direction they developed it in as the game went on over the years. All right. In other news, Why is there so many random animals in my fort that I don't need nor want? What I might do is construct a cage, like right here, and sell it. And then also, I'm going to jump down into this and add everybody into the burrow. We got 21 dwarfs now, which means I need an actual office, or rather, I need a chair in my manager's office. So this is just going to be, well, currently it's just a public meeting area for my dwarves. This is going to be a tavern, and then this will start doing bedrooms. See how much we can fit into one tower. I think I was doing pine walls, yeah? Large floors. Things are pretty good. No complaints currently in regards to how things are over here. You know, Dwarf Fortress being comfy is really funny to hear someone write, or just to read in my head and hear in a voice. Ben Hunter. It's not wrong, though. Chat, would you describe Dwarf Fortress as comfy? I generally don't like the term comfy, because it tends to describe games I don't like. But it is an interesting thing to think about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could do a little pillar in the middle, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could do like right there, maybe. Nah, maybe later. Well, I mean, not even in certain embarks. You can just turn off sieges. Like, just turning off sieges makes it... Actually, no, it's not comfy that I don't like. It's cozy is the term that I don't like. Because cozy tends to describe games that have absolutely no reward structure based on player action. Like, Dwarf Fortress has reward structure based on player action. I think I'm just gonna make a butcher. Well, nah, we just need to get... I need to just properly satisfy these dwarves. I'm going to cut this area in half. I'm gonna make the other half into a tavern. We're just gonna do that like right now. Because I'm just starting to look at these moods and going, yeah, okay, I need to actually like properly take care of these dwarves. I've been kind of neglecting them. And the population is up high enough now that, yeah, I need to give them some proper zones. Let's go inn and tavern. The walled candy. You know, that's kind of fitting, right? Because there's a wall around the outside of this. I mean, the thing about, like, Dwarf Fortress, right, is it's playable exactly the way you want to play it, right? It's like, do you want to play it as, like, a combat mega build structure building game? Certainly, you can do that. Like, do you want to play it more as a, like, low-key town builder and, like, not worry about the enemies? You can do that by either setting the game up to do that or by just simply disabling it, right? Like, it's a sandbox that's enjoyable in the way that you wish to seek out the enjoyment in it. And that I think is the power of Dwarf Fort, right? Whereas a lot of games inspired by it just focus on one or two elements. Because, like, you can get hours of enjoyment out of Dwarf Fortress just generating worlds and looking at legends, right? You don't even need to play either of the gameplay modes to enjoy it. You can get hours and hours. Like, I've done like 10 plus hour streams just diving into weird stories in Legends mode before. And it's a very enjoyable experience to do it that way. Is it the most standard video game experience? No, not really. But like, I don't think that matters in the slightest, right? As long as the player enjoys it, then it's a valid use of, or a valid way to play the game. Whereas I think other games kind of have a set notion of how they want you to enjoy it before you start playing it. And I think that kind of blows. Actually, you know what, Wicta? We'll make Wicta the bookkeeper. Where are you? There you are. I mean, plenty of games have customizable difficulty, but like, even if you, like, just because RimWorld is always the source of this discussion, right? Even if you take RimWorld and you set it to their easiest difficulty, which bothers me because it's like stealing Dwarf Fortress terminology for their difficulties. Well, not stealing it, but like, you know, just trying to repurpose it, which I don't like. Even if you set it to the easiest difficulty, your pawns will eventually, somebody's going to snap at some point and beat somebody up. Like, yeah, they're going to do it less, but the way the game punishes mistakes isn't fun or rewarding to me. And the reason for that is because it's avoidable. It's completely avoidable. You, the player, if you're good enough, can avoid it. Sometimes Dwarf Fortress will just punch you in the head. Just completely unprompted. And I'd be like, what? The fuck? If you have enemies turned on. And because it's unavoidable and the world is persistent and you can try again, I don't have the same, I don't get mad at the game for intentionally deciding, okay, it's time to fuck you over now. You know? Whereas, like, everything, as the more I played RimWorld, the more artificial it felt, I guess. And Dwarf Fortress just doesn't feel artificial. It's a personal thing, really. Like, it's not that either of them are bad games. I think they're both good games that fill niches in a marketplace. And I think that RimWorld absolutely helped popularize a portion of the niche. I just don't think it's the be-all, end-all, and it's not a game I particularly enjoy playing these days.